Welcome to our third Aquarian Salon of the second cycle about art, astrology, and wisdom teachings. The theme of today's Aquarian Salon is the soul and the personality. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bunaktu, saha viryam karavavahe, tejasvinavati tamastu, ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we be protected together. May we share and enjoy together. May we work efficiently together. Let there be no hindrances to our enlightenment. Let no malice prevail. Let peace be in all the three planes. Lisa?
Thank you, Ludger, and thank you, Frank and Lauren, Rosa, everyone, our team. Well, everyone, I want to say thank you and welcome to everyone, north, south, east, west, above, below. This is the last of our 2024 season, and we meet again February 8th, 2025. 2025 is the year of the Great Conclave and probably one of the most important esoteric years of our lives. I look forward to when we meet again in February. Well, the theme in this October salon is the soul and the personality. And you know, most of us and most people don't understand what the soul or the personality is. And so I'm going to explain it as well as I can. I didn't know about it until I learned. And I'm going to begin with a mantra, which is called the soul invocation. Some of you know it, some of you don't know it. It's a beautiful mantra. And our group recites this mantra at the beginning of our meditation each morning. And so I'm going to, I now am also going to figure out how do I look at the slides
It is Lorraine should put it on the screen.
Slides. You know, I want to say, everybody, Jupiter.
No, everything's correct, Risa. Continue on. The slide's not supposed to go up yet.
Jupiter in Gemini is retrograde, so we might have a few stumbles along the way.
Yeah.
So
everything's good. The slides aren't supposed to be brought up yet. We're good.
As we do look at the slides, let's see how many beautiful colors we see. These colors reflect the colorful light of the soul and how colorful our kingdom on earth is. Master Kumar always writes, the kingdom is colorful. Again, I want to say our group in the morning in meditation begins our meditation by saying the soul invocation. And the soul is a globe of light above our heads. We visualize this globe of light coming down into our bodies and resting into our head and our heart and directing our lives. And this idea of the soul and this light is a new concept for humanity. And now let's say our soul invocation together. And here,
can you show the screen, please, Laureen? I do not see.
Stumbling along today, and we'll be saying the great invocation as soon as saying the soul invocation. That's right.
I have the slides here. Shall I do screen sharing? No, there's no. Okay.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
So again, the soul, see the light above our head, is a globe or a star of light above our heads, and we visualize it coming down into our bodies, resting in our heads and our hearts, and the soul begins to direct our lives, and it pours down in through the chakras, and then the chakras open up as lotuses. So let us say our soul invocation together. We'll be saying this 3 times, twice at the beginning and once at the end. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed and perfect in my design. I am the soul. These words of the soul give humanity and ourselves a new identity. The Tibetan speaks about this soul coming into humanity's lives. He says something new is happening and occurring for humanity, and it's a new kingdom. We know, living on the planet, that we have the mineral kingdom, the plant, the animal, and the human kingdom. But a new light is coming forth into humanity, and it's the light of the soul. A new light coming forth. Master Kumar says the light of the soul is Mercury, the messenger. And the Tibetan wrote in Discipleship in a New Age, today something new is happening. There's an emergence of a new kingdom of God on earth, and it's called the Kingdom of Souls. It's precipitating on earth and creating those of us who are conscious, aware, and awake. And we work in group formation. We have arrived at a love for our fellow men and our desire to serve them. And we are directed by the light of the soul, and we are called the new group of world servers. So what is the soul? Again, it's the new kingdom of awareness for humanity. Again, we have the mineral, the plant, the animal, and the human kingdom. But now we have the kingdom of souls. And it's a new developmental stage for humanity. We also call the hierarchy the kingdom of souls. And as I began thinking about our work today, I had a sense of the hierarchy sitting around at a table and watching us in our salon. So what is the soul? It's an intermediary vehicle of light. It's between humanity and God. It's between ourselves and God the Father. And God the Father created this in order to step down his fiery energy, his will, his love, his wisdom, and intelligence. And if we did not have the soul as an intermediary, we would burn up in the fires of the Father. Notice again the colors and the beauty of these slides. These colors are the colors of the soul. And what do we know about the soul? Humanity lives. And when do we begin to know about the soul? Humanity lives in its physical body, its emotions, and its lower mind. And this is called the personality. For thousands and thousands of years, we have been living in the personality and strengthening it through our experiences in our school called the earth. We have been learning how to live in form and matter. Actually, all the religions up to the Catholic Christian religion have taught humanity how to live in form and matter. Along comes a lifetime when a person experiences something different. It's like an awakening. One begins to ask certain questions we've never asked before. Who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? What is here? What is the earth? Why am I here? And what is my purpose? And a great unease begins and a great questioning. And it is a quest that begins. And now I want to show through our visualization the personality, the rainbow bridge, and the soul. Notice again, way, way above us is this lotus and this light, and it just looks down upon us until we are ready to ask it to come in. Now notice these triangles. The lower triangle is the personality. We live in this all the time. It's our vehicle that interacts with form and matter, our physical body, our emotions, and our lower mind. When we start asking those questions, we start climbing that ladder or that bridge, the rainbow bridge, until we reach up into the soul. The soul then begins to precipitate its light down into our head and our heart and our body. Then we stand within the six-pointed star. So first our personality is separate from the soul. Then we climb the rainbow bridge. And then the personality and the soul come together, and we are then the six-pointed star. This six-pointed star is the Star of Solomon. So there's a connection between astrology and the light of the soul. Each sign of the zodiac is one aspect of the light of the soul. In the diamond of the soul, the diamond light of the soul, each sign is a facet of soul light. There are 12 petals around the heart, 12 signs, and each sign opens one of the petals and opens up one of the facets of the soul. And what does the soul do once we have contacted it? It directs and guides us. It is a light. It is the light of life. It's a searchlight. We can turn this searchlight in any direction. It's a healing mechanism. The soul is our friend and our companion. The soul is our higher self, like Venus is the higher sister self of the earth. Our soul is love and will and wisdom and intelligence. The soul offers us a community of other souls, soul and group. Eventually, we become part of the world soul. When we seek to connect with another or help heal another, we do soul. We do so by connecting our soul with their soul, our heart with their heart. So we visualize our soul and we send the light of our soul to another soul. This is the work of Mercury. We become the messenger like Mercury, who is the light of the soul. And we've been taught that the outer garments of the soul are the outer garments of God. And so there's no separation when we are in touch with our souls. There is joy, serenity, understanding, pure love, and there is no loneliness. And again, the identification, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed and perfect in my design. I am the soul. And now, what's important is when we look at Ludger's paintings, we are going to see this light that he has painted into his paintings. This is the light of the soul. Now there's so much more we can say about the soul, but that would be for another time. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed and perfect in my design. I am the soul. And we visualize the two triangles joining and fusing, lifting up. And then all of us together are in the six-pointed star. And there we will meet as a soul group together. We are the souls. We are light divine. And now let us turn our focus onto Ludger's paintings and talk with Ludger about his paintings. Ludger says that the images in his paintings originate from an idea. The idea leads to different stages of expression. And the original is the idea. The original is the idea, and this original cannot be bought or sold. Now, let us approach Ludger's paintings. What do we see in the paintings? What symbols do we see? Sometimes they're really hidden. We have to gaze deeply upon them. What do we notice in the paintings? Are there any symbols that mean anything to us? And what does the painting seem to say to us? And what do we sense and feel when we look at his paintings? Is anything stirred within us? And what do we find the artist is trying to tell us? What questions do we have when we look at the paintings? Now we can go to Ludger's first painting. This is Libra, the upper and the lower bird and magnetism of life. Libra, the upper and lower bird and the magnetism of life. So let us gaze at this painting as we listen to Frank's music. Oh, that was really playful music, Frank. It made me smile. Thank you. Beautiful music. So, Ludger, would you like to share with us a bit about your painting and your inspiration for this painting?
Thank you, Risa. This painting was created in 2014, 10 years ago, and it relates to a story in the Eastern Upanishads where there's a story of two birds on the tree of life, which are eternal, inseparable friends. One bird eats the fruit of the tree, the other rejoices the first one eating. The bird below stands for the personality, which is experiencing the world. The bird above is the soul, which is a witness of the actions of the lower self. Both are eternally united. It is a beautiful representation of Libra, which stands for relationship. Another symbol of relationship and in relation to Libra is the magnet. Its two poles create a field which attracts and magnetizes the iron filings. In this picture, I joined the two symbols. The upper bird in radiant white is hovering above and observing the lower bird. The latter is sitting on the ground, looking backwards. It is also white, but a little tinged. In the background, you see the two poles of the magnet vertically arranged as two suns, spreading their fields of force all around, illustrating the poles of the soul and personality. They also represent the trunk of the tree of life, with the lines of force as branches and roots. I drew the lines on a photo of iron filings ordered around a magnet. Spiritual astrology describes the color of Libra as crimson red for the average person living in a cloudy admixture of emotions and love. For a disciple who has developed the etheric lotuses, the color is violet. And when he is established in the thousand-petaled lotus, the color is a blend between blue and pure white. You see these color tones vibrating in the picture.
We learned a lot from what you just shared, Liger. Thank you. Would others like to respond to this painting? We can say there's something we see that's important to us, point something out. We can say how this makes us feel or what it makes us remember, or if we have any questions.
Tracy? Go ahead.
Ludger, I like how you said the color tones are vibrating in this picture, because when I look at it, there's such a sense of movement and vibration in the purples and the reds and the blues. You've just created movement through colors. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
When I was gazing at this painting, I noticed that oval. I noticed the oval. And it reminded me of the atom. It's so interesting.
I'd like to respond, Rosa. I'm not able to raise my hand formally. It's Lauren. But what I do see, which is interesting, is I love how one bird is soaring and the other bird is kind of poised there. So there's a difference in movement and action between those two birds that just particularly caught my attention. And I just I love the colors. And Tracy, I like that you brought up the colors are vibrating, and there's a sense of movement in this painting and light. So it's really beautiful, Ludger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lolly, go ahead.
Hello, Ludger. What a beautiful painting. There's a warmth that I feel in it, and I like that you spoke of relationship and the soul and the personality bird. I also see an infinity, or what I feel like is an infinity, and there's a glow to it that's I feel a lot of warmth in this painting. I also feel a lot of love in this painting. So that's how it makes me feel, or that's what I see or feel. So thank you very much.
Thank you pointing out the sign of infinity. I thought of it, I didn't mention, but you can see this symbol. They are eternally joined, it says there in the story. The lower and upper bird is one unity, and in infinity they are married together.
Isabella?
Thank you. Firstly, thank for the story of the Upanishads. I had never connected it to Libra, and it's really thankful. As someone else said, the attitude of the verse is so different, so dynamic, and like it's a particular way of flying, like without gravity at all, no effort, like on the upper one, and they're yet connected. So it's particularly contrasting and beautiful. And I also see in the lines like the iris. So the pupil normally would be black, and here if that is an iris, the pupil will be so shiny. So it's also an image that caught me. Thank you.
Basia?
I'm drawn to the center of this image, just to this lemniscata, to the infinity, and these two white circles that really, kind of exude light. And that's for me the strongest impression. I feel very moved and very touched by this flickering light, and it stands out to these two forms of birds. It's like kind of very. For me, it's the strongest, the center, disquieting, turning into two centers, but still both of them emanating light. Yeah, that's very touching for me. And the pigeons, the doves of peace.
Laura?
Hi, everybody. Yes, Ludger, it's beautiful. I was going to comment on the infinity sign. Lolly mentioned it first. And also, it's like the figure 8 when you look at it, the center, isn't it? Even though 8 isn't associated maybe with Libra, but it's associated with the infinity sign. I maybe never really thought of magnetism in terms of Libra in that way. The magnetism word stands out, and it brought to mind Venus, the personality ruler of Libra. When I explain to people what Venus is in their chart, I say, well, Venus is what you love and what you attract towards you. And I use the word what you magnetize towards you. Venus relates to that. So yeah, the magnetism stood out strong, that word in the whole thing. Thank you, Ludger.
Thank you, Roy.
As Laura said, that figure 8 in the middle, actually Libra prepares us for Scorpio. 8th sign, Scorpio sign. The Libra prepares us for Scorpio. those white globes, almost, they look like infinity.
Not only the sign, you look into infinity with the
Looking
light,
That's right.
like windows.
Shall we go
Actually,
to? Go ahead.
kind of, yeah, like kind of infinity is looking at you.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Mm.
Shall we go to the next painting?
Frank?
Yes.
This painting, Fishing the Souls, was created in July of this year. And the soul, incarnated in the body, is in danger of losing itself in the affairs of everyday life and drowning in them if it does not consciously turn to the light. The teachers and masters of wisdom are always ready to fish the seeking souls. That means they help seekers to free themselves from entanglements and direct the seekers towards the path of light. When we strive for love and not for power, people gather around us. By sharing knowledge and wisdom, we guide them on the path. In doing so, we also grow ourselves and our lives become unlimited. The stars, such as the Great Bear, the Pleiades, and Sirius, are reflected on Earth as the hierarchy of masters. And the teachers of the hierarchy are our guides. In the center of the picture is a boat with a pair of fishermen casting nets. Human figures can be seen in the reflections in the water. They symbolize the people who are looking for guidance on the path to the light. The light reflections of the sun form a path up to the stars of the zodiac and beyond to infinity. I used photos of several scenes from India for the design of the boat with the fishes and the waves of the light path. To illustrate the people lost in matter, I embedded elements from a group photo into the waves. The golden yellow light stands for the light of the Buddhic plane. The multicolored reflections in the water symbolize the thoughts and emotions of the lower planes of the material world. The arch with the figures of the zodiac was designed using a photo of the old astrological clock from the medieval Zeitglocke Tower, meaning time clock tower in Bern's old town. Here, the path of light leads up into the expanses of the subtle world. I did not do it consciously, but in the center, with the boat, people started saying, it looks like if a subtle person hands out its hand into a person in the water. It was the reflection from the boat and insight from the light, which when you look at the very center, you might see this person being drawn into the boat. Anyone wanting to comment?
What do other people see, feel, sense when they look at this? What stirs within? I see that beautiful light coming down and that reflection in the waters. The fishing of the souls.
I can respond. I love the light, how you can just see the contrast of the light on the individuals in the boat and the horoscope around, pardon me. But I always think of, our full moon meditations and disciples and the new group of world servers and everyone getting into the boat together. So for me, it reminds me of that meditation. And I love all the colors, and you can see the overlay of people in the water. If you look below towards the bottom of the paint, you can see the detail Ludger placed of even more people. There's those subtle faces at the bottom transferred over on the waters. So it's a very layered and like complex painting, in my opinion. So thank you, Ludger. I love the lights.
When I had thought that I had finished the painting in the physical, there was not the contrast like this with the dark and the light so strong. And then I felt, no, something is missing. And then I worked digitally to increase the light and to create the darkness of the that a big drop is formed around. And in this also the light of the inner part was increased. There are many layers of elements, one over the other, which just fuse together in this image. Sun rays on a more early morning walk at the Gulf of Bengal is the golden light there, the path of light, and then so the boat was at another town, Rajamundry in India, And I had taken a series of photos from when the boat was moving there from different directions. But this one was exactly where how the one hand was holding upwards and the other hand was holding the net.
Teresa?
Yes. So I see the representation of the two figures in the boat, representing the souls, and the sense of duality also as their reflections are in the water, reflecting back to them, the personalities, the physical essence in the water. And the souls are the beings in the boat, then they're focused on the personality beings to aid them to climb. And then those reflections of the physical body and the personality are gazing upward into the light, representing their goal to achieve a higher level and to join with the soul.
Thank you.
See the zodiac above. And again, the kingdom is colorful. Look at all the colors. Would anyone else like to share, respond? What one senses, feels, sees when gazing at this painting?
I would like to share that I see the person in the water who's touching the boat seems to be asking the person who's pointing toward the light, asking maybe where the boat is going. That kind of caught my attention.
Thank you.
I see the well, first it's so beautiful, and fishing the souls caught just a feeling in me like, yes, there's so many missing souls. And I did see the light in the boat of the person reaching down. So the third person that's not completely clear, I felt that too. I really loved looking at your painting as you were describing everything. It's really beautiful, Ludger. And I love that the people on the boat are out there saving and fishing and supporting people in finding the light and going towards the light instead of being in their lower personality and stuck in the the energy of matter. All of it's really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
Go to the next painting.
Doris, would you like to share?
Doris, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Excuse me. Yes. Look, I'm always touched by your colors, how they complement each other, and such stillness and eternal unity I always see in your pictures. And in that picture, I would love to be the person who are pulled into the boat. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, we all.
Such a beautiful response from Doris.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Gazing at the paintings of Luger is like a meditation itself. The Tibetan tells the disciples to focus their brain with the soul, higher levels of the self. And when we look at Ludger's paintings, we do that. We focus all levels of ourselves onto this painting, onto these paintings. And we gaze at them. And then their beauty, their colors, their light, they enter our body, our hearts and minds. Shall we go to the next painting? This is called Sagittarius, fiery alignment.
Thank you, Frank. This painting, Sagittarius Fiery Alignment, was created 10 years ago. Sagittarius is the fiery sign of the archer, the symbol of single-minded attention. It teaches us to direct all our forces to one purpose, the goal of our life. On the spiritual path, the bow and arrow stand for the meditative discipline of lifting up the energies to the higher centers and to align one's own will to the divine will. For the visualization of the divine will, I choose a representation of the Lord of the divine will. I took the face of a statue of Shiva on the banks of the river Ganges in Rishikesh, India. I cleared it from other symbolisms and placed a bow and an arrow over the bust. With the help of photos of the sun and of a lotus, I created the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled lotus over the head, open towards upside, not towards downside. It is the target of the alignment, the connection to the higher worlds. For the string and the lower part of the bust, I created shapes of bluish flames, expressing the electric tension of the fiery alignment. And then I emphasized them by intensifying the colors.
Ludger, I want to acknowledge that each one of these paintings, as you explain them, is a teaching. And there's so much that we learn when you explain your paintings. So we're grateful that you're doing this.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to share what they see, think, feel, sense, their response?
Laura?
Yeah, it's beautiful, Ludger. What came to mind when I look at it is Robin Hood, the image behind, and according to legend, Robin Hood was a master archer, so the bow and arrow brought that to mind, Robin Hood. And then you probably said it, but the one-pointedness of Sagittarius, like the one-pointed disciple, Sagittarius, on the spiritual level, ruled by Mars, brings that to life for me, the bow, the one-pointedness. And yeah, it feels quite divine and holy, the way the image of the Robin Hood, as I call it, with the eyes closed, gazing down, and that light coming in from the top down. There's a holiness to it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I noticed that in the West, I find no images of meditation who are turned inward. Most people have a Buddha in their garden and this as a symbol of meditation, but this is also a rare statue. There are many, many Indian statues of so-called Hindu background, but they are often not in this just meditative, inward-looking mood. But this statue touched me very much. There's such a serenity and such this energy of turning inward in it, and so much centered. And yes, it is also this energy which is generated through the will to ascend from the lowest part, the Muladhara, up to the Sahasrara, the whole central line through our body, the Sushumna, and the energy ascending there, and then bringing us to cosmic expansion in the Sahasrara.
Isabella?
Thank you. Yes, as Risa said, I also want to acknowledge that each painting is a teaching. Thank you, Ludger, so much. In this one, I see a beautiful contrast or complementary aspect, rather, because as Ludger was now saying, the serenity of the face is highly particular, while there's a beautiful dynamism, almost like an explosion on Sahasrara. And yeah, and the way the two things blend, in my opinion, is like there's a point in which the ascent is effortless, which is a big teaching for me, because I always tend to the effort. So the image conveys that at a certain point it simply happens, like in a blessed, beautiful way, effortless.
If you look at the painting, you see a horizon, like the horizon of the earthly sphere, and then the Sahasrara beyond. And so there is also like a breakthrough over the horizon into the great expanse, which is here from white to orange, yellow, orange, the colors of the higher planes.
The Lord also looks contained here, contained and protected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sabine?
Yeah, I love this picture also very much because there is something angelic about it. It looks like an angel. And so in the beginning, it was said that that we have to lift up the earth to the kings of beauty, and it's just for me such a representation of this energy of alignment, and I love especially this resplendent light at the top of the head, so which is really yeah, cosmic in its light. Yeah, it's beautiful. There's a lot of, I think you just can meditate a lot upon this picture because there are very strong colors. And on the one hand, you have the fire, which is a big contrast also to the calmness and to this inward gaze that you find in this angelic person. Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Basia?
Thank you very much for explaining the line. I was wondering the horizon line. I was just wondering what this line is supposed to mean. And yeah, it makes more sense now, you know, to like the I don't know her name. I can't see, they spoke before me. That is like, you know, going to the kingdoms, uplifting
Yes.
our earth, the kingdoms of beauty. And it's always so amazing the way you handle the light. You know, it's fantastic. You know how you did the image of Sahasrara, emanating light and putting a little bit of red, purple, and underneath, you know, giving it the base and then the explosion of the color. It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There you also observe in the white the subtle structures, which in the big painting you might see more clearly. And here it goes from the form to the formless. And there's a subtle transition into the formless, into the light. And you leave all forms behind when you go to the higher planes.
Anybody else want to make any comments or ponder upon this beautiful painting? So many colors. Maybe we can go to the next painting. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's called The Music of the Soul, the Full Moon of Krishna. Music of the Soul, the Full Moon. And this is one of my most favorite paintings of Libras. It is so beautiful.
very well remember how this painting came about. On the 29th December 2009, 25 years ago at December call time, I had 1 month before started to do paintings again after a pause of over 19 years where I didn't do anything after having worked quite a lot in the 80s, but I thought there's no interest in it, and I had destroyed most of the old paintings in 1997, and I wanted to be out from all these images in a way, and now came this impulse for new kind of work, and I was playfully discovering with a lot of subtle energy in it this new dimension. And it was very silent in our house. The family was sick with flu. I'd taken care of them during the day, and in the evening I sat down to transform a classical image of Lord Krishna at the Yamuna River. I changed most of the elements which I found in this painting and replaced them with a dreamlike feeling of magic, of the soul magic. And I was very much drawn to this picture, which I have directly next to me here at this painting, but the background which I used for this painting. And I was very much attracted with the book Music of the Soul of Master K, where I had translated it early 1990s for my then group, where I was into German. And while I worked on this, it put me into a state of rapture, and I experienced the touch of the music of Sri Krishna's flute. And then I experienced this again very strongly when I was working on this picture. And you see here Lord Krishna with his peacock. He's always accompanied by the symbol of a peacock, which is also related to a Taurus. And Taurus is said to be the ascendant of Lord Krishna. So the many colors of the peacock you see, but here I created this aura around the head of Lord Krishna and merging with the tree. And there are many subtle structures in this aura, which you faintly see here in the reproduction. I did not really take care at that time of a good scan. I just did a medium quality scan and then also gave away the image shortly after having created it. And you see the flow of water and the full moon. It's, when you see the original painting, it has the similar structures, but here is quite a different flow in it through the color work I did on this. And I intensified the colors and so to create this vision-like ambience and made the sound of Krishna's flute vibrate through the colors and transport you to the expanses of his presence.
Well, there are so many symbols here. Let us look at these symbols and see them. There's so many. What do we see in this painting?
The flute is a symbol of our spine. The energy flowing through the body, the divine breath, creating the music through our well attuning to the soul, that we start expressing this music. And the full moon is also the fullness of merging with the divine and the flow of life coming out of this full moon energy.
In every corner of this painting, there are symbols.
Yeah, I would like to share this. This is a very deep, profound painting, and yes, there are so many symbols and details. The first thing that kind of caught my attention is this light wheel behind is Krishna. Seems to be maybe a Sudarshana chakra wheel, sort of like overseeing everything and illuminating everything, even almost more brilliant than the moon, and just beautiful.
What is that chakra wheel you mentioned, Rosa?
The Sudarshana wheel, the Vishnu has in one of his hands, which represents, well, you might be able to say more, but
Yes.
it represents sort of like cutting through the
Yes.
material, or cutting through what's not true. And
yes. It is one of the weapons Krishna uses to destroy ignorance. At the same time, it is a symbol of the universe. Sudarshana means good vision. It is the expression of the vision of the divine. When the obstacles are removed, then you can perceive the divine. And so it is this rotation, the aura there is looking like opening into another sphere. And the Sudarshana is described, as you said, when there were attacks of demons, and there's a lot of destruction described when Krishna was establishing the law again. There's a lot of killing there, and he did often use this Sudarshana wheel in this work.
That's a whole other story to learn about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To the left of Krishna, is that a cup pouring forth flowers or something out of a cup?
Yes, yes. Like magic flowers in the night.
Oh, goodness.
I used a bit of golden colors, which you cannot really recognize here. They're just some nature radiating elements of nature expressing they're from out of earth.
What do other people see in this painting? I'm fascinated by the fact that Krishna is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that, Riku?
Yes. It says that the universal awareness descended into a human form from beyond. It is out of the undescribable, which is perceived from our side as darkness, but it is highest light. And the name of Krishna means black. And the black expresses in the night then as darkest blue when it starts in the night sky to manifest. In the wisdom teaching, it says that there was in the very, very early stages of the first and second wave of life on Earth, the first and second race, human beings here with blue bodies, but they totally disappeared on Earth. Here, this body of Krishna was created with for the descent of his energy with very special ritual preparation by a group of masters which wrote the then world teacher Parasara, and they did a 7 days ritual to create this body. And in this, at the end of this ritual, the Parasara, the then world teacher, sacrificed himself to be able to create this body for this descent of an energy where the elements of the earth, the unholy planet, were not good enough. So there's a super mundane vehicle created for this manifestation on earth. And when after 128 years, when his mission was over, he anchored the vehicle of the energies on earth, and he handed over this energy to Lord Maitreya. And this is the energy of the Christ, the cosmic Christ, which was impregnated on this subtle vehicle, which is now in the guardianship of Maitreya. And as you read in Secret Doctrine, it sometimes was given for certain specific missions to the Buddha, to Sri Shankaracharya, and also to Jesus the Christ. They were wearing this subtle body.
Those are profound teachings, Ludwig. Thank you. What else do we see in this painting that Ludwig could explain to us? So many things. At the bottom of the painting on the left, I see people.
Yes. It reminds me of a painting of a pre-Raphaelite painter, of a lady who painted the Midsummer Night's Dream. And there was a lady in this painting, there's a lady standing and surrounded by spirits of nature, dancing there in the grass. And when I later saw this painting, I thought also here, this scene of beings around, dancing around there on the floor. Yes.
White Sky Woman. You're muted. You can unmute yourself on the left lower corner. Can you see? Let me see if I can unmute you. No.
She is unmuted, but we can't hear her.
Oh, okay, yes.
Right.
You can
unmute her, Rosa, or shall I do?
Yeah, she's already unmuted, but there's something her end we can't.
Okay.
You could write it in the chat if you wish. Okay, I see stars which you cannot usually see during a full moon. Can you talk about the stars? Maybe they are planets?
No, they are divine beings descending to Earth. I did not think of planets. I thought of the presence of divine beings descending.
Sabine?
Yeah, so one thought that's coming to me just right now is that that the music is permeating all creation, because so you have the people on the one hand, you have water and the flowers, and so everything is full of life and full of its vibrancy, and so it's this idea of permeating our earth and sky, and perhaps also mineral kingdom. I don't know on the left, but so this is very beautiful because it unites all of the elements, and yes, everything in creation actually that we have. So thank you.
I think that this painting is so beautiful. Most of us are probably speechless around it.
Mhm.
I wanted to mention the water is just so full of colors. Like seems like the river of life
Mhm.
streaming down with all these colors.
So much detail.
Yes. It's always life energy coming and then descending and flowing towards the ocean. And Krishna always used to play his flute music in the magic of the dark night, and all the gopis were attracted to come there and dance with him through the night. And he multiplied himself there in this dance.
And gopis means what?
Gopi were the cowherd ladies from the village where he was brought up. He was born in a prison, but he was brought to the village of Raj, which later they moved to Brindavan, and this name of Brindavan is known, and the gopis were are expressions of the soul oriented to the divine. They were just only absorbed in the presence of Krishna. And so this is the soul seeking mergence with the divine, or being merged into the divine.
That's why they're so joyfully dancing, right?
Yes.
The music and the playing of the music brings the Gandharvas to mind, and on the left, like Risa said, it's like people, but to me it's almost like chicks, baby birds in the nest, and I see mouths open and beaks opening and they're rising up to the music, the celestial music. But yeah, there's a lot in it to take in, and a lot of depth, between the colors and the layers, and it's very soothing to look at. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I like the detail of his clothing, his necklace, his hat, everything that's on his body. So much detail.
There's a message on the chat, one from Lolly. Thank you for your presence, education, beautiful paintings, and music. Grateful to be part of today. And Gabrielle, I see Basak Valley with the full moon and the river. When the aspirants start to think blue, they start to see light and hear music. They start to see Krishna. Thank you.
Well,
Isabella?
sorry. Isabella.
Yeah, Isabella.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the peacock, please, Ludger. We also have a peacock at South India, in the ashram, in the sacred
Yes, yes. The peacock is always together with Krishna, and you see, Krishna has two animals classically around him. It is the cow, which stands for Mother Earth, and the peacock is also a symbol of the soul and the beauty of the soul, with all the feathers of the peacock, which sometimes are unfolded and spread and sometimes folded together. But it's the colors are said to be fluctuating at the throat between dark blue and green, and the feathers also are irradiating different forms of light. And these lights, these colors are described as colors of Taurus, and the beauty, Venus aspect there. And this bird is said to be sunken in the beauty of the divine, expressing the beauty of the divine.
Thank you so much.
Master Moria always says that when you see a peacock, I am there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Master Moria speaks about the peacock.
Yes.
And when Krishna died, isn't that when the Kali Yuga began?
Yes. The day when he shed off his body was the moment we count as the start of Kali Yuga, the time of his shedding the death, and also his birthday are known by seers. There was nobody physically around, but the seers located exactly the time, around midnight in the early morning hours passing over. And it says that then this was the beginning of Kali Yuga, and before there had been the great killing of the Yadavas, the clan in which he was born. There was a big massacre. They were intoxicated by having drank too much, and it was a curse which led to their destruction. And Krishna had created an island in the sea to protect the people of his clan. It was not on the mainland, but it was an island connected with a dam, and there started coming also corruption in this group of people and abuses. And I just read with my study group on the Bhagavatam about Krishna's passing there, and it said Krishna was there were Brahma with the gods coming, and they told him that he should come back to the divine abode and finish this earthly cycle. And there Krishna said, yes, but he has one last task to complete the total destruction of the Yadava clan. These were devas who, when they were stuck in matter, incarnated around him, but they grew pride. The pride grew. They became proud, and they became glamored by their own strength. And this way, he said, when I would leave without causing their death, they would make a great havoc on earth. And so I can only go after having completed this task. And in this night, when he was dying, there was this big massacre. There were many thousands of men who had killed themselves. The women stayed there alone, and they witnessed the drunken heroes killing themselves, one against the other fighting. and it was a big massacre. And then shortly afterwards, this island sank into the sea. Krishna himself, after this, there was nearly nobody left. There was someone sent out to alarm the others. The Pandavas were far away, the charioteer. But there was a last encounter with Lord Maitreya, who came on the scene, and another great master, Uddhava. And they, Uddhava wanted that Krishna stays in his body. And he did not understand that it is only used for a certain time and then will be shed again. And he was instructed by Lord Krishna about that he has to let go of this, and he wanted them to go with him, and he said, no, you have one more task. You have to work on earth for spreading the divine. And Lord Maitreya also, he could understand that Krishna was about to leave, and that his mission on the earth is complete. And there's a very profound instruction of which Lord Krishna gave to Lord Maitreya when he told him that he now will form a team with other masters, two others that will assist him, those whom we know today as Master Moria and Master Kutubi. The name there in the scriptures is Devapi and Maru. And there was the formation of the first team of the present day hierarchy, and there were others named by Krishna which would join them, and there was a team of 7 together who started taking over the task of guiding humanity through the beginning Kali age. And so this was the task that Lord Krishna stayed. This energy stayed present through Lord Maitreya, and Lord Maitreya was given the task to guide humanity through the whole time of Kali Yuga, to keep the divine wisdom and light available on earth, even though the law of time brought a great darkness and ignorance of money, sex, alcohol, so drugs and corruption, and the qualities of Kali Yuga were and are very well described there in the scriptures, and that they would go rampant, and there would only be respect of law through threat and through punishment. And this way it would spread after the passing of Krishna. It took away still some time for the beginning of the spreading, but it is going now. We know these qualities very well when you look into today's world. At the same time, those souls oriented to the light, they stay in a way protected, and will not fall into the energies of what we say matter, and also of this fighting there. Is described there in the scriptures, and especially in the book where Master Ike in Music of the Soul and then Men's Sacrifice describes this beginning of Kali Yuga.
Thank you for this teaching. It is so important to understand our history. We have one more painting. Shall we go to that next painting, or shall we stop here?
I have to go to toilet. No.
One more painting, and this painting is called
Opening the Sheaths of the Soul towards the Greater Light.
Thank you, Lauren. Opening the sheaths of the soul towards the greater.
Thank you, Frank. This painting, opening the sheath of the soul towards the greater light, is in a way, it came out from an experience in my life, but it is also expressing a state of development on the path. For many years, till I was in the mid-40s or even beyond, I had the feeling that my life hasn't yet come to flourish and that I was in a bud-like state. I knew that there were veils around the soul, which then slowly started to unfold and widen. And this is the origin of this painting. To visualize the closed state, I took a photo of a water lily bud and that of an egg and fused them together. Then I added the figure of a woman inspired by a pre-Raphaelite painting. She is holding a dove in her hand, which is waiting to fly. The sheath open in the upward direction, allowing the soul in incarnation to unite with its counterpart, which is radiating in the light of pure consciousness. The same two poles which we had in the Libra painting at the beginning. So it also, I don't want to say with this that that I experienced it. It is not for me the experience of the third initiation, but it is like a vision of breaking open the aura or the limiting field around, which protects us, but which also limits us until we are strong enough to break open the shell of individuality, of personality, to open up to the soul. Any thoughts?
So what do we see in this painting? Thank you, Luker. There's so much more to say about this painting. So many symbols that we see. What do people see that they would like to point out? When we share with each other what we see, then we all see what you see too. So then we learn together.
Tracy?
Thank you, Rosa. Ludger, you said she was holding a dove in her hands. When I looked at it, what I saw was her hands opening up her heart center and the light radiating out from her heart.
Yes, that's true.
And then there's the linking of the light from the heart to the ajna to the soul. It feels like it's that column that you had in earlier paintings.
Mm.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
When I see this painting, it looks like she's holding a holy child or a little angel.
Mm-hmm.
So see these globes of light around her head of the Ajna center.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the solar angel encased in matter.
Solar angel encased in matter.
And the same in the heart center, yes.
May I please? Well, as you might have heard in my musical inspiration, this picture has something very uncomfortable and aggressive, disharmonic inside. Maybe it is the correlation when you break something, it's definitely gone. And you're opening this sheath and it's gone after. And there's a certain anxiety before it breaks and even an experience of loneliness or uncomfortableness afterwards. And all this I find reflected in the fiery flames up above and the structures of blue, violet, blue below and the red. So for me, it's very uncomfortable, this picture. Not in peace. It is in development, extreme development.
Yes. I was going through a very severe crisis in the time of creating these paintings also. And it was a time of pressing against this sheath. And also, it's right that you express this an uncomfortable situation before the breaking or during the breaking. Before the chick comes out, it needs to develop the energy, the power to break up, and then come out into another dimension. Shall we close with Frank's last play and then the violet flame invocation?
Okay, I play my final tune, which shall remind us to tune into Lord Maitreya.
Noreen, can you show the invocation? We bow down to the wisdom of the East. We bow down to the love of the South. We bow down to the strength of the West. We bow down to the will of the North. We bow down to the headlight Chintamani above. We bow down to the great guardian dog below. We bow down to the Lord of I Am, the center. May we be raised. May we be raised. May we be raised to the kings of beauty. With this, we conclude the third meeting of the second cycle. Our next Aquarian Salon will be on 8th of February 2025.